Hello, everyone. So I think I'm really here and I think I'm live on YouTube, which is really good. Um, Happy spring, and I hope everybody enjoyed an amazing Easter. That is probably the most meaningful thing that we celebrate, is it not? So anyways, thank you. And I thought in honor of that very special gift of Easter that I would do a Easter page layout for you guys. So what I'm going to be using today, this is the summertime journal template, believe it or not. It's a really super cool template that you'll use for a lot of things, and it's been around for a while. So if you don't have this one, you may want to get it. All right. So I'm gonna teach something using this. I will also on my page, I'm going to use the decorative trimmer. Um, what else is, oh, I'm going to use my circle cutter, this one. All right. And also, because we don't have one of these for ovals, it doesn't really matter. This is a really good tool too, is the oval patterns that go with your circle and oval cutter. Okay, so those are the things I'm going to focus on to make this beautiful Easter page. So let me change my screen. And let's see what we can do here. All right, so first of all, I'm going to show you how to make a cute little Easter basket using your circle cutter, this guy. All right, and it doesn't really matter how big your Easter basket is. I am going to use the measurements that I did on my page. All right, so I'm going to tell you, Gracie, that's enough, sweetheart. All right, so my I'm going to do a semicircle at the 5.4. Now, you probably can't see very well here. When I say 5.4, I am looking at the white measurements. There's two measurements that I'm just not seeing in my screen. But there's a set of white measurements that is showing very well to me, and a set of black measurements. The black is for something different. I'm going to use the white. I'm going to use 5.4 on the circle cutter. Every little hash mark is 2/10. So there's the 5. I went over one little slash and another little slash. That's 5.4. All right, next thing, to get a semicircle instead of an entire circle, what I'm going to do is put this little black mark right here. I'm going to line it up with the edge of my paper. So the black mark is at the edge of my paper right here. All right, and I'm just going to now cut a semicircle. All right, so we need that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the exact same thing, but I'm going to use my other edge. Exact same thing. Black mark lined up to the edge. The whole system is lined up to the edge, but that black mark is on the edge. And that's going to ensure that it really is a semicircle. All right, now after you do this one, okay, so that was not effective. I'm going to try that again down here, as I didn't have enough room. Last time I did this, I didn't do it this way. All right, so this time I'm not going to be able to go all the way over to the edge, and I guess it doesn't really matter as long as I make sure that I am down here on the base of my piece of paper. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so here I am. All right. Oh man, daggone it. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, okay, so what all right, so I'm going to try to put it back to where I had it. Because ideally you don't, I'm going to start over because this part is really important and I want you to understand. So let me get another piece of paper. Daggone it, I'm sorry. That's what you get for following me. You got to be careful who you follow, you know? All right, so I'm going to, again, put it down on the edge. I am going to do, it's still at 5.4. I haven't moved it. I am going to do what I told you to do, go up against the edge, Don't try to do these both on the same side because as you can see, there's not enough room unless you change your measurements. All right. But I want to stay with 5.4 just so you can see what it's going to look like when you're done. So I did a 5.4. I am not going to move this because once you move it, it is very unforgiving to put it back. So I'm going to, especially when I didn't go into the middle, you know, I didn't use a side. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Just trust me on this. So now what I did is I loosened the knob. I am scooting this over to the 5.0. All right, so I haven't moved anything. This is exactly where it was. I just scooted my blade down to the 5.0, and that is not going to work either. Let me go back. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. All right, so that's not how you do this. That wouldn't work either. Sorry, I'm going to loosen. You have to loosen and you're going to scoot this down to the 5.0. So I just loosened and then I pulled this down to the 5.0. The other way wouldn't have worked either. I am so sorry. Gladly, you can watch this again. All right. So what I was aiming for was this little piece right here. Okay. So I am making an Easter basket. This is a 5.0 and a 5.4 cut. You have to do the bigger cut first. All right. So there's my basket. If you want to decorate your basket, I would recommend, and I used some wood print. This is from the Welcome Home line. And if you have any of these are laser borders. If you don't have a pack of our laser borders, get two because they're great for double page spreads to just add a really quick border to the page. But when I looked at, these were leftovers, ones that I haven't used, and I just pulled them out and I saw basket. Isn't that pretty on there? All right, so that's a very beautiful way to add some, make your basket look more baskety. So you would just put it down and then with repositionable tape, and then you would just trim it to get that look. Is that pretty? All right. So that is your basket. If you would like to add a little bow, this is a great way to add a little bow. I am going to use this little scrap here. This, by the way, came from Lullaby Lane. It's a textured print. The other side has little safety pins on it, or little diaper pins, I guess. But this side is probably one of my favorite sides, and you're not going to see it very well, but it's a very textured piece, which is crazy pretty. So I did mix this with Welcome Home. I'm going to use the Bells and Bows punch to get a little bow. Some of you may have had an older bow that we had, but I don't. So I'm going to go like that and just trip that little bow off. And then I put these little bows on the handles here. Is that super cute? All right. So that's your basket. And I used a 5.4 and a 5.0 cut. All right. So the next thing I want to teach you how to do is to make some super cute Easter eggs. Now, I used a variety of paper. Right now, if you don't have any paper that looks Easter eggy, like right now, this one, you know what? I can't even remember what paper pack this came from. But when I was going through my stuff, Welcome Home had the prettiest paper prints for Easter eggs. If there's any gemstone tone on tone paper pack, I know that they were on Last Chance the other day and there weren't very many left, so I think they probably sold out. But if you have some old gemstone, those have some really like ombre papers in there that make beautiful Easter eggs. This one is speckled. I wish I could remember where I stole this from. Welcome Home, the new mermaid line. Beautiful, beautiful. It's got some ombres in there with blues and pinks and purples. Super, super pretty. But they're going to make some really pretty Easter eggs. But before you buy anything, you might want to look through some of your current papers to see if you have some that will work, because we have a lot of really pretty papers that will work with this. All right. So next, what I did is I used for my Easter eggs, I did not use my smallest oval, but my second to the smallest oval. And I did this with my red blade. So let's go down here, make sure it's facing the right direction. and we'll do a little cut. Okay, so you can see with the right paper, your Easter eggs are going to look like Easter eggs without doing the first thing. Remember when I was talking about these? If you have some leftovers, look through them. They may make some pretty decoration. How cute is that? All right, so you could do that. But what I did on most of mine is I pulled out the summertime journal template. And you can either draw on your eggs. The really cool thing about it, do you see how you can see my egg behind this? All right, so I know exactly where I am coloring if I'm going to color. Let's grab one of our pens, and I'm just going to fill in those holes. All right. So then you have a Easter eggy look there. Another look you can do, I'm just going to do this on the other side to save time. I love this wave one down here. So what if I did something like that down there and maybe did it again up here? Another thing that you can do is sponge them. It kind of gives a soft watercolory look. So what if I go, sorry, I don't have room. What if I go kind of like this? And I'm going to just a little smidgen. This is one of those makeup pads. I know you've seen me use these. And then kind of sponge it. And then it kind of gives more of a watercolory look. All right. So those are some of the things that I did. Another thing I did is I added some little pearls to some of my eggs. So this is a great tool for that. Before I walk away from this tool, I want you to be aware of how cool it is for other things because summer is coming up. Like if I wanted to do a tree, a palm tree, watch this. Give it plenty of room because that way you can cut it out with an oval if you want to. This is a big object, so I'm going to put more on it. Dot pens work the best because they really have a lot of ink on them, but you can kind of sponge your leaves and then you can change colors when you're ready to do the trunk. So it's a really quick process. It looks super pretty. There's a little bit of grass down there. All right, and then I'm going to grab brown, maybe. See what I do? I leave my tops off my pens, and it's very disturbing. We're going to use this one. Just another big space. I'm going to put a lot on it and then go down the spine. So I know some of you have seen this before, but it's a really great technique. And then you can go take your oval, probably the third biggest one with a red or green blade, and you would go around it, and that would make a super beautiful embellishment for your tropical page. So these are great. This is a great tool. Hibiscus is pretty sponge too. There's a sea turtle. Wow. So anyways, wanted you to be aware of that. All right, so let's go on to the Easter eggs as promised. Gonna put this stuff out of my way and show you how pretty this all looks together. All right, so let me just point out some things that I did. This paper here is Welcome Home. This paper is Welcome Home. The brown is Welcome Home. This I did the exact same technique. This pretty wickery looking handle was on the back of the brown in the Welcome Home. You can see how I added this little rick-a-rack here. I also added this to my Easter egg. I did a bigger egg here. I think I used the bigger one with the blue blade to get that size egg over here. I knew that because I had such a nice big embellishment over here that I didn't need another big embellishment over here. So instead, I used this guy, your decorative trimmer, to do a really quick border. To do that, you're going to want to first cut a waist strip. Make sure your piece of paper is up against one of the ledges, either up or down. It doesn't really matter. Cut a strip that you don't need to get that wave that we want. All right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to, for this particular width, if you like that, I scooted it over so that the top was right and aligned with this notch and the bottom was aligned with that bottom notch. And that way it's just a nice, easy visual so that you know you're at the same spot all the way down. It gives a really nice size. Oops, and I wanted to scoot it down and I didn't. So we want to scoot it down. So I cut the other one at the top. I need to cut the other one at the bottom. That is paramount to getting this ribbony look. And since I already cut, I'm not really sure what I'm going to get out of this, but we're going to try. There we go. All right, so it doesn't look too bad. It looks kind of bad because I have a little tear down here. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. All right, so then what you're going to do is notch it. So follow the curve here, follow the curve there, and you get this little notch look for your ribbon. I know you've seen this, but sometimes we forget to do these skills that are super pretty. And I think ribbons are really pretty in the spring. All right. Is that nice? All right. So that's how I did this. I wanted to make sure you understood that tool. Another thing that you know what, you're going to hear me preach a little bit today, because I think that sometimes we get so carried away with the holidays that we forget to pass down to our family our faith. So I put on here, He is risen, along with that beautiful little Easter basket. I included a journal box. It's a great time to remind your families about your faith. If we don't put, one time I saw a speaker, I think it was Dr. Tom Barrett. He said something about who puts the jelly in the donut. And what he was talking about when he said the jelly in the donut is who puts your, those ideas in your kids' heads. And I totally believe that if we don't put what we want in their heads, somebody else is going to do it. And you might not like what goes in there, so I love, to share my faith. I love to share that, just like me, like there is nothing my kids could ever do for me not to love them. They all make mistakes and they may disappoint me. They may make me so mad, but I love them. And they need to know that not only do we love them, but God loves us so much that he sent his son, so that no matter what those darkest, deepest, most horrible things that we've done that we don't even want to say out loud, we know that he has carried it on the cross. So forgive me for doing that, but I just kind of felt called to do that today. If there's even one person out there that doesn't know that feels bad about themselves, then it was worth taking that time to mention it. Up here, we have a punch called the cross punch, which is really great. It's on the Wild Supplies last list. So this is a great time for you to get that if you want it. It's great for baptisms and weddings and Easter and so forth. I don't know I know when my kids were little, they're all grown now. And I didn't even get to spend all of Easter with my kids this year. But I know when they were little, our church put at Trinity Lutheran, they put out a cross where my kids could go up and put flowers on the cross. And I always got pictures. So I would, if I had done that this year, you might even want to do a border with crosses and maybe use our wildflower to maybe do some snips. This is the wildflower border punch. And you don't necessarily need to make borders out of it. You can use it just to make little flower clusters. And if I had a number of crosses across my page, how pretty would it be to just surround that little cross with little flower buds, in the right colors. Wouldn't that be pretty? All right, so kind of keep that in mind if you had that lovely experience. But let me show you my basket full of eggs a little closer so you can see how pretty it is. See how some of them I decorated? That little heart also came from that summertime template, and I sponged it. You can see how it's a little bit more watercolory. I actually drew these in here. I added some pearls here. You can see little bows on my basket. Is it beautiful? All right, so there you have it. Nothing hard at all. So I hope you'll try it. I hope this is, to me, it's so soft looking and beautiful. And I hope you like it, and we'll try it. All right, so that is all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing week. Oh, I almost forgot. There is a special going on. If you haven't shopped with Creative Memories before, or if you have shopped with Creative Memories before, right now, if you spend $135, you're going to get a punch that I don't even have yet because it hasn't come in, but I'll be back when that comes in to show you. But it's only like a week and a couple of days that you have, maybe just a week actually, to take advantage of this. I would load your cart with things that you know that you need, or, I've given you some suggestions here of things that you may not have. You may not have this bells and bows. You may not have the wildflower, the cross. If you don't get it now, you may not get it. The keep the faith line. If you're a Christian and you love, if you do a lot of things to express your faith, that whole line is on While Supplies Last. That's a great, beautiful, beautiful line with lots of blues and tans, and oh, it's beautiful. What else might you not have? You might not have had the decorative trimmer. Anyways, load your cart, try to hit 135, and then you'll get to pick one of two exclusive border punches that we will never sell, and some exclusive paper packs. Okay, so I wanted to tell you that. So now I am done, and you're able to leave. But it just occurred to me, I am nervous about my presentation with that circle cutter at the beginning, that you won't understand how to do it. So if you are not savvy with the circle cutter and want me to demo that again, stay on. The rest of you take off, okay? Because you don't need to see it. But I'm just going to grab a piece of paper and demo that one more time. I'm going to use, this is a pretty pattern. All right, so let me change it back. All right, so we'll try that one more time. That's so that you will understand what to do. So I am going to do my first cut. Just make sure that your paper is on a line. I'm going to start at 5.4. I'm just going to change my dial to 5.4. I'm going to put the black line here along the edge of the paper so that the line is lined up here. And also this part is on this edge. And then this is my first cut. All right. So this will be the base of my basket. Now I'm going to do the handle, and I am going to rotate the paper this way so that we have room. Last time we did not have room. That was a total disaster. All right, now I am going to do another cut at that same point, the 5.4. And this time I am not touching this. I'm not moving it away. I am loosening my dial here. And then I am going to pull this until there's a little crosshair here, until that crosshair lines up with the 5.0. So I'm going to get down here and look so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to scoot it down to the 5. If you want a thicker handle, go to 4.8. All right, and so there we have it. And if you want contrast, well, this is an ugly contrast, but you could flip the handle to get a different color, okay? Or you could leave it the same. All right. So I hope that was a better demonstration. I apologize for the first one. Thank you again for watching, and I am going to check off now. Bye.